Check, check, check. You all know what time it is. It is Dr. Christopher J. Childs live and in effect. I'm excited that you all have joined me here today. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. I got the Facebook going. If you're watching me on Facebook, over here, I got you going on the website. If you're on my website, look at the new chat feature down at the bottom where it says live show chat. Brand new plugin feature. Let's see how it works. The closed captioning is getting better every time. Like it's not perfect. The closed captioning is far from perfect, but it is getting better. So we're just working with the closed captioning right now. Hopefully over time, it's going to get better. I'm excited about it. Let's get into it. We only got 15 minutes. So we have 15 minutes to talk about the topic, 15 minutes to jump into the Ask the RK Child show. As you all know, I'm constantly checking my phone. I'm constantly monitoring it for questions. If you submit a question live, or if you submit a question by the time I get to the Q&A, I will call you live on the show. Like I'm telling you, you want to be on the DRK Child show. If you're watching the replay, I'm sorry, you can't be on the show. But if you're live, you want to be on the Ask the RK Child show. Today's topic, the most controversial topic in mathematics education. What is the best mathematics curriculum? On this show, first time ever, I'm going to publicly state what is the hands down best mathematics curriculum. It's going to be controversial. I don't care. This is what I do. But I think the people need to know what is the best. All statements and opinions are my own. You know, that disclaimer at the very beginning, just in case. Just in case. I keep lawyers on deck just in case some foolishness happens. Anyways, you always start off with a goal. No matter what you're doing when you're instructing someone or providing information, let people know what journey you're about to take them on. That way, if they don't want to be on the journey, they can log off. If they want to be on the journey, they can stay around. So up front, I want you to learn the key elements of a quality mathematics curriculum. So we can't just say this is the best, here's why, but what encompasses a good mathematics curriculum? What are the key elements? Let's jump into them. First, what is a curriculum? What is a curriculum? If you're in the chat, like if you're live, type down in the chat, what is a curriculum in your words? If you're on Facebook, you can type in the comments, what's curriculum in your words? If you don't tweet, this is the one time don't tweet me because I check Twitter, but I don't check Twitter kind of live. But type in the chat if you're live there, what is a curriculum? Now, there is a difference. What do I mean? There's a difference between curriculum, standards, textbooks, and assessments. A lot of times we use those four terms interchangeably. We'll say standards when we're really talking about curriculum. We'll say textbooks when we're really talking about assessment. We'll say assessment when we're really referring to curriculum or standards. So we need to understand those are four different things totally. Standards differ from curriculum, which differs from textbooks, which differs from the assessment components. Big picture. Standards are the standards of the standards. You all heard me say that. And when I refer to standards, I look at the Common Core standards. You may say, oh, my state has something different. I guarantee your state, some type of way it goes back to the Common Core. But those are the overarching things that a student should learn in a specific grade level. That's the best layman's definition. When it comes to textbooks, those are the physical textbooks. And I'll never hold up a textbook because I hold them up. People get mad. Why you hold this one up? Why you hold this one up? But when I hold up a textbook, the textbook is just that hard copy or that soft copy or that digital booklet with a bunch of problems in it. That's a textbook. Assessment, it can be summative assessment, formative assessment, those are your in-class pieces, or the big end of the year standardized assessment. So we probably need to do a show on just what is assessment to break it down. So those three things are different. Now, when it comes to curriculum, here's the formal definition of a curriculum. Break it down. This comes from NCTM. I think they have one of the best definitions out there. A curriculum, a program used to help students meet the standards, including instructional materials, activities, tasks, units, lessons, and assessment. If you take that definition and break it down, essentially, all a curriculum is the program that is used to meet the standards. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. But the importance is, how do we meet those standards? And when we see those standards, thinking about the standards that you all have within your district or within your state, or if you're still using the Common Core, that is what a good curriculum is designed to do, to meet the standards. It does not meet the test. On a prior episode, I've talked about your tests should align to the standards. Makes sense. So if your curriculum aligns to the standards, your curriculum will align to the assessment. That's if the assessment aligns to the standard. So the very first thing when it comes to assessment, making sure that's aligned. My very first principal, Mark Brown, used to say, and it worked for me. If he'd never cared about the end of the year test, he always said, if you teach to the standards, the assessment will take care of itself. Wholeheartedly believe in that. So if you have a high quality curriculum that's aligned to the standards, the test is going to take care of itself. If it's a good test, that's a whole nother episode. If it's a good test. Now, coming back, here are the key components of a good curriculum. If you're on the website, if you go to the top of the page, you'll see where it says handouts. It'll allow you to click the handout so you can take some notes and follow along as we're going. Again, I'm checking the comments. I'm checking the emails in case someone emails me a question in real time. So if you see me moving around, I promise you I am in tune to what we're doing. I just got a lot of things going. So couple of key, if you're looking for a good curriculum, couple key things. First, horizontal and vertical. You're like, what the heck does that mean? You're talking about axes, x-axis? What? No. When we discuss a good curriculum, it meets the horizontal needs. Horizontal needs is focusing on thinking about your grade level. What is going to happen within a grade level based upon the standards? In addition, you want to go in depth within that grade level. So it's not just that's, we used to say the standards were a mile wide, an inch deep. Now we're saying they're narrow, but we go deeper. But that's what the focus on when you see a good curriculum that is first aligned by grade level, but then it has depth to it. And when I say align, I'm referring to the progressions, which we'll talk about later in the show. Next piece, the key is that it has vertical pieces. You're like, vertical? What do you mean? Like you just said, going deep. What I'm saying is vertical, if it's a good curriculum, connections need to be made not across just the grade level, but the grade levels before it and the grade levels. I did my hand wrong. I should say the grade levels before it went down, and then the grade levels that come afterwards. That makes a good curriculum. We want math to make sense, correct? So when it makes sense, it's aligned with the grade level. It goes deep, a good curriculum. And then it has the vertical connections between the different grade levels. Again, that's based upon that progression. And you probably hear me saying progression. What is progression? I'm referring to the Common Core progression documents, okay? The Common Core progression documents. If you do not know what the Common Core progression documents are, go to Google and literally type in Common Core progression documents. It's going to pop up. It's going to help you see big picture. What are the standards all about? How do we engage students in the standards at a high level? So type in Common Core progression documents. The second piece, a good curriculum, it has coherence. We always talk about math needs to make sense. Math needs to make sense. But a lot of times we teach math in such a disjointed method, it doesn't make sense. We teach this topic, then we teach this topic, then we teach this topic. And the kids are like, what the heck is going on here? So we want to make sure when we teach mathematics that it makes sense for the students in which we serve. We really want to make sure when we're looking for a good mathematics curriculum, or if we're building a good mathematics curriculum, that it has coherence and interconnections throughout. And when I say interconnections throughout, not just in the subject area of math, not just aligned to the progressions, not just aligned to the standards, but does it make coherent connections to other subject areas? Considering we love to use the word interdisciplinary connections, does the curriculum make those connections? Students naturally should see, how does mathematics relate to ELA? How does mathematics relate to social studies? How does it relate to science? Not just, can I do math? Can I get an answer? All right, another key component, the lesson planning. So the lesson planning goes in, to me, it ties right down to with a good mathematics curriculum. The reason being, every curriculum has pacing guides and all that stuff, which we'll talk about in a moment. But the lesson plan is key because you don't want a curriculum that was built in silos. And when you get the curriculum, you don't want to use it in silos. We have to collaborate and get out of that silo mindset when it comes to teaching students. Because what is happening in your neighbor's class could also be happening in your class. Right now, I'm watching a lot of teachers. If you're watching the video on live, like when I say live, like in 2020, You're seeing a lot of teachers right now, they're creating all these materials because we're dealing with the coronavirus. And I'm seeing fourth grade teachers across the country creating materials. Do this, do this. Nobody's collaborating. When we think about what just happened, this should have been the one time districts, teachers should be collaborating. I'm seeing a bunch of smorgasbords of, I love the word crap being put together. I'm seeing one school do this, one school do this, one district do this. When to me, it would have been like, hey, we're shut down. Let's collaborate on some lesson planning. Across the board, all fourth graders need this. We can tweak it for our student populations, but for math, they're going to do the same type of content. We just want to make it culturally relevant and make it relate to our students, but the content is going to be the same. So you don't want to be siloed. So I gave you some different big picture pieces that are imperative for a good mathematics curriculum. According to NCTM, this is from Principles to Actions, one of my favorite books. Here are 3 foundational pieces. So I gave you some big picture things to think about when determining what is the best mathematics curriculum. Here are 3 foundational pieces. Number 1, does it have engaging tasks? Rote routine tasks are not engaging, where it has, oh my gosh, Chris, it has a bunch of rote routine problems where students are going to practice over and that's not good. That's not good. That it doesn't work. Look at the data. You want rich problem-solving tasks in the curriculum. Say it again. Rich problem solving, not a bunch of rote routine tasks that we can do Siri. I won't do it. I'll do it. You know me. Hey, Siri, what's 2 plus 5?
2 plus 5 is 7.
So we really going to spend time with tasks like that? I'm just saying. Oh, sorry. I'm trying to check because someone put a comment. I'm trying to find a comment, but doing too much here. So think about that. Rote routine tasks, crap. Anyway, the second piece of good curriculum, meaningful discourse. Students love to talk, but we need to make sure it's meaningful as it relates to math, not talking for the sake of talking, and allowing every student to integrate into the discussion. Math is the one class, in my opinion, that every kid should have the opportunity to talk, especially English learners. A lot of people are like, Chris, they don't speak English. You don't have to speak English to do math. You don't have to speak English to do math. All right, I'll say that for another show. The last piece, does it build fluency? Understand, fluency means efficient with strategies, not fast. All right, that one not even fast. I'm not even clicking. This one. That's fluency, efficient with strategies, not fast. So when we discuss building fluency, it's from conceptual to procedural. It's not fact fluency. Oh my gosh, I gotta do this fact fluency. For what? Kids got Siri. They need number sense. They got Siri for fact fluency. Just saying, I know a lot of people be hating, Chris, we gotta do fact families. That it doesn't work. Like, show me the data where it's working consistently. Crickets. You all lucky I'm doing this live and not pre-recorded, because I'll put my cricket sign in there. I don't say what I know. I know what I say. All right, coming back. So those are the 3 foundational things: engaging tasks, meaningful discourse, building fluency. The biggest key, it needs to be student-centered. It needs to be student-centered. It needs to be student-centered. It needs to, do you all get my drift? When I say student-centered, it's focusing on what do students bring into the classroom. There are 2 things that impact student achievement: instructional practices, that's led by the teacher. The second is student experiences. Students bring into the classroom a variety of experiences. Build upon them. Do not just say you don't know anything. That burns me up. Students, everyone I keep talking to when I'm having a lot of downtime right now, calls about how do we improve? They tell me everything that's wrong. That's probably part of the reason. Asset-based approach. I never look at a kid what you don't have. I look at what the kid has and build upon it. And culturally relevant pedagogy and culturally relevant teaching right now, this is the time for it. We want to build upon what students have and bring, and stop trying to teach math through this Eurocentric, Greek dominant voice lens that actually sucks. All right, so let me go on. The last piece, revisions. What do I mean? You're probably like, Chris, when we make a curriculum, it's done, it's printed. I tell everyone, print it and you're going to reprint it. Or make a digital copy. A lot of people work in a digital format where you can Google Docs or Google, where you can change it. Think about it like this. Right now, I don't want to say what's popular. The talk of the town is the coronavirus. If I hypothetically did a exponential math task with the coronavirus, that's great. But a couple years from now, it's going to be another virus. That's like several years ago, we had the swine flu. Then a couple years ago, we had Ebola. Now we got corona. So we want to be relevant with the times. If we talked about shooting jacks, you shooting jacks or thumping? I don't know. Whatever jacks, my old school people, you with me. We're talking about jacks, people like, what's a jack? Or if we had problems with rotary phones, it's outdated. So we want a curriculum that we can revise and manipulate as we go along the way. Because if you think about relevance, right now, every kid is using TikTok as of now with this video. Think about relevance. If we use, right now you come in the classroom, hey, all my kids are on, what was something we had? MySpace. Kids are like, what's a MySpace? You got to stay relevant. You make revisions. You make revisions based upon your students, based upon the standards. Also thinking about, as you're teaching things, you learn new things. So you come together and you collaborate. How do we revise it and make it better? Your curriculum should be a living, breathing document that is constantly being improved upon. It shouldn't be static or stale. As always, check out the Inspiring Educators Podcast, number one podcast in the world, in the universe, all right, I can't say nation because then I'll be going small. This is the number one podcast out there. Check us out. Have great topics. This is Women's History Month still. And when I say still, if you're watching in March, it's Women's History Month. If you're watching in June, July, it's not, but we're still celebrating. My spotlight educator, Mary Kemper. She's out in Texas. She's a director of mathematics. She's an Apple Distinguished Educator. She's the president of the Texas Association of Supervisors of Mathematics. Cool individual, great mathematician, great leader. Check out her website, bubapp.com/mkemper. Amazing. Matter of fact, I'm going to tweet her. I'm going to tweet her live. I'm going to try to tweet her live. We're going to see. All right. I tweet after this. I'm trying to do too much. I'm getting too fancy. So now, here, all right, so you watched this video. You're waiting for this. Dr. Childs, you said this video was about the best mathematics curriculum. So the question of the day, what do you all think is the best mathematics curriculum and why? Post it in whatever platform you're watching on. Put it in the comments. If you're on YouTube, you're on my website, put in the comments, what do you think is the best mathematics curriculum? Now, here is my best mathematics curriculum. Drum roll. I can't believe I'm doing this. I can't believe I'm telling you all this. The best, this hands down best mathematics curriculum. My first time ever saying this publicly. The best mathematics curriculum is the curriculum that meets your students' needs and your teacher needs. That's it. I know you all was expecting something else, an endorsement. Why? You're like, Childs, why'd you do this? I want us to be critical consumers of whatever curriculum we're using and make sure it's meeting our students' needs first, teacher needs second. Some are going to say, why not teachers first? Because ultimately, the students are going to be impacted the most. All right? So for me, I'm a student. If I can't say students first and then say teacher. So I want to impact students and teachers, but I want it to be a curriculum that's going to provide every single student a high quality mathematics experience. That's all I can. In my work, that is all I care about, for every single student to get a high quality mathematics experience. That starts with the curriculum that we're using, and it starts with the teachers and other stuff, but this episode's on the curriculum. But how do we ensure that? So we want to use those key features from earlier. If you're picking a curriculum, I know some places are building their own, but you have to keep the students in mind. And if you're building your own, who is at the table building it? Are they representative of the diverse students in the country? Now, see, I didn't say your district, because if your district is not diverse, when they leave your district, they may go to some diversity and need to be prepared. Do you have a curriculum that's been built by and representative of the diversity of the students that are going to be served by it? We need to start thinking with that lens and not our narrow lens of this is good math. We cannot continue to say this is what math should be, or because I was taught this way. Too many kids are getting locked out of mathematics experiences. So we have to rethink what is mathematics from the lens of the diverse group of students that we serve each and every day. All right. Develop your students to become problem solvers and not rule followers. You all know how to reach out to me. You know how to hit me up. What is the best mathematics curriculum? Like, but I want you to post what you think. But I only care about students. You all know that. I'm going to say it until I can say it no more. I only care about students. All right. This has been the quick workshop. It's supposed to be 15 minutes, went a little bit over. I'm going to work on getting 15 minutes because I want it quick, succinct, and to the point. Some of you are going to stay here and you're going to log off. Great. Some of you are going to jump over to the Ask DRK Child show, which is literally a click away.